Just wanted to say, first of all, that we were pleased, the Board of Curators were pleased this meeting to approve our budget for fiscal year 2015. And the budget, we believe, maintains affordability on each of our campuses with no increase in tuition for Missouri undergraduate residents and with small increases for non-resident undergraduate at our campuses. The budget also, very importantly, includes salary increases for our faculty, something we've strived to do since I've been on the board. We realize that given the circumstances in Jefferson City, there's some uncertainty about what the level of state funding will be this year, but as President Wolf mentioned during his remarks, we're encouraged by what we're hearing, but we very much maintain that we need the level of state funding provided by the legislature to fulfill our mission.
We also had the opportunity to talk about the state of the university. This is the annual report that I got a chance to deliver this morning that talked about the accomplishments and progress that we've made in the past year towards our strategic goals. We talked about the celebration of the MU flagship institution, 175th anniversary, 100 years of extension, as also reflected on the 50-year Jubilee celebration of UMSL, UMKC's 80th year as an institution, 50 years in the system, as well as talked about S&T celebration. We also talked about what's happened in terms of student success. We have more students on our campus than ever before, all-time highs in terms of students, as well as all-time highs in terms of the ACT average of the freshman class at 25.7, and also an all-time high in terms of graduates. We had 9,500 students graduate in the most recent commencement ceremony. So we're increasing the quantity, the quality, as well as the diversity of our student base. We have all-time highs in terms of minority representation on our campuses. So we're very, very encouraged with our success from the student side. As Chairman Downing talked about, part of the success is keeping tuition low. We lead the nation in terms of the lowest average tuition over the last 5 years. This represents all public institutions in the state of Missouri. That's part of the equation. It's value and price. I would suggest that our 4 campuses really maximize on the value side of the equation, and that's why most of the students are coming here, as they know when they come to one of the 4 campuses, they're going to have a quality experience, get a great education, in some cases find their area of passion that ends up being their career, or in other cases, if they already have that area of passion, know that they can get educated and be positioned to be employed once they finish their either undergraduate or graduate work, and we have very, very strong statistics in that space. So there's wonderful stories that I had the great opportunity to share, as well as position us for success in the future. And with that being said, what questions can Chairman Downing and I answer for you today?
Question for both of you. So how do the curators and how do system leaders plan to kind of leverage the power that you do have to make the legislators that not override and be?
Well, as you might know, University of Missouri system reaches throughout the state, and we gave an award today for the 100th year of our extension. And so we have people in every community throughout the state, and we're encouraging everybody in the university community to reach out, as the President did in his remarks, reach out and communicate with the legislators that they know, and communicate the value of what we do here, and the need for the resources that we've asked for. That's I think the primary way I would say we would leverage our resources to do that.
The other thing that we would do is we have constant communication with political leadership, from the governor to the senators and to the House of Representatives, as well as constant communication to our business leaders, alumni, and other citizens that we interface with on a regular basis. What we do is we come up with constant or common messaging that we drive through all those relationships and all those constituency groups in a way that influences a positive outcome for the University of Missouri system. And we've gotten dramatically better at that. So what we are doing to try to ensure success relative to what the budget ends up being in the amount of funding from a higher education standpoint is we're sending that common messaging and requests through all those constituency groups in a very managed way, that hopefully results in a positive conclusion for higher education. Out of having these conversations and making sure that it relates to the needs of the state, not just the needs of the higher institution or the University of Missouri specifically, which could be construed as a bit parochial. What we're trying to do is talk about the economic development benefit or the quality life benefit or how it changes the state. And that's something that everybody can support. Is if it's something that's good for the state in total, chances are we should support it and get behind it. The university, the status of that is really up to the leadership of the MU campus. In terms of, I do know that the University Village is going to be demolished. What the future options are, I know that surveys have taken place. They're going to take input from those students, families that are in those particular campuses, as well as those that maybe want to be in married student housing or other place. They'll take that input into consideration and make a decision in terms of what's next for that. I do, yeah, and thanks for that question. Next week, the governor, by Constitution, has to come up with a budget by the end of June and has to, by Constitution, balance the budget. So we'll get insight in terms of what happens next week in terms of what bills are vetoed or what bills are signed or what bills are signed with restrictions. And based on that visibility, then we can start to appreciate what strategic funding will actually take place. I have already made decisions on that and communicated that to leadership on the 4 campuses. The actual release of those funds will be dependent upon those decisions. If it's not what we anticipate of the 5.2%, we will get back together as a leadership team and figure out collectively what we should do that allows us to best utilize the resources that we do get from the state in a way that advances our plans towards our strategic goals. Soon. That would have been a shorter answer. Soon. But then you'd say, how soon? Other questions?
I don't have the specifics. I think that's a campus question.
Could I say soon? I don't know. Don's right. Is the softball stadium and the other enhancements that they talked about as part of the master plan is being worked with Athletic Director Mike Alden and Chancellor Bowen Lofton. To me, no.
Yeah, no, we've seen that in writing before, and it's always good to have someone talk about it and put more than just what's on a sheet of paper. Very encouraging, and I think we have the right person in the right position to implement that.
If you had to pick your favorite part of where they're headed, what would it be?
You know, as someone who spent 7 years here a long time ago, I love the fact that they're trying to be the best university they can be and attract the top flight faculty in the country. Because I think, in my view, faculty is where the rubber meets the road in higher education. And I know they're putting tremendous efforts into scouring the country to find the best faculty in the country and sometimes in the world to bring into Columbia, Missouri. So I don't want to say that's necessarily the highlight of everything he said, but that's certainly something that was very important to me.
My highlight was the clarity in which they're going to invest for our future success, which just piggybacks what Don said, is being in the select few of the AAU, which is 34 public institutions, which represent the finest public institutions and the 30 some odd private institutions. It's rare air. It's a select group. Our aspirations are to improve our position in the AAU. And having the best and brightest faculty doing fantastically creative and innovative research that attracts students is what sets us apart from other institutions, and being clear in terms of not only are we going to hire those research capable faculty, but the specific areas that we're going to hire them into is refreshing, that the entire MU team can come together on that and identify those areas in which to hire that faculty.
Can you explain what the purposes of the temporary delegation of authority in regards to mental health and sexual assault issues?
Sure. The temporary delegation of authority by the Board of Curators, and I want to thank the Board of Curators for giving me this temporary delegation of authority. There are some changes that we have to make to existing policies in order to have, going into the fall semester, which isn't that far away, the right approach towards the prevention and reaction and response to a sexual assault harassment issue. Because the board doesn't meet till October, we need to make these changes between now and October. They're temporary delegation only in the area of sexual assault and mental health. That's the only temporary delegation that I have. I will alert the board to what changes that I plan to make, so there's time to have conversations with the board. It will be issued in terms of an executive order. In October, when we reconvene with the Board of Curators, we'll talk about the executive orders that have been issued by me in this temporary delegated state and determine, do these go into formal collected rules or what the next position is. So that flexibility allows us to move with much more speed in terms of putting these appropriate policies and clarity in place for our students, faculty, staff, and our leadership.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.